Kingston Zoning Board of Adjustment. Let me introduce my colleagues to you. To my far right is Peter Coffin. To my immediate right is Larry Greenbaum, our vice chair. To my far left is Richard Johnson. To his right is Chuck Hart, our alternate, who will be actively voting tonight. And our secretary, Susan Eyre. And I'm Ellie Alessio, your chair. The first item of business will be to adopt the minutes from the November 12th meeting. As today. Or as
that doesn't sound like
yeah, and it's always yeah, exactly. So it's been moved, seconded. Any errors or omissions, corrections? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The only other item of business before we proceed with the hearing is that, the numbers are getting pretty bad on the COVID. I mean, I know last time we were shut down with a lot less numbers than they are today. And Kingston has just exploded. I know the Vets Club is closed down because they had a big outbreak there. I think that's where a lot of the numbers in town are coming from. A couple of our fire EMTs have been exposed, so we had 8 individuals from the fire station in quarantine. We're up over 70, more than that. It's more than that even. So I didn't know how you felt about going to Zoom starting the first of the year. I mean, are we all capable of doing that? I know you are, Peter and Chuck. Richard, yes. Larry, how about you?
I can become capable.
Well, that's good. That's good to know because
I've got a spare microphone.
we can make it work. Let's leave that as an option. We may have one hearing. Mr. Hannigan, some of you are familiar with his request to term. He donated some land. He had subdivided some property off Ann Hannigan Lane by 125, the old fairgrounds area, and had designated and it subdivided, sold lots, and then left combined some others to form like a conservation area. He's 97 years old and still with us. God love him. He was fiery as a young man, because I've known him all the years I've lived here, and he's pretty fiery even at 97. But he's looking to put a house on some part of that land. And both the planning board, the circuit rider, the board of selectmen have all said, if you could find enough land that's dry, they could put a house in as well, we would consider it. So far nothing's happened. He's not been able to. That's a general. He's got papers, he's got arguments, he's got positions he wants to take, and he said he's going to come to the ZBA, which is his right to do so. I'm just letting you know that if he gets the paperwork in time by next week, so expect to see him maybe tomorrow, Susan. Then we'll have a meeting in January, and if the numbers are looking like this, I can just add it to the agenda at some point. I don't know how you feel, but I think the better part of value is to go with a Zoom meeting this point.
The vaccine will be out by then, but we don't know how many people.
Yeah, but we're not going to.
None of us are going to get it until.
Yeah, we're not going to feel the. Yeah, we'll be in the March-April group more than likely. But I'd like to see how the numbers go. I don't want to be overreactive, but I also don't want to be insensitive to the need to be a little bit more cautious than we've been, especially with the numbers are still going up, and they say we haven't even peaked yet.
Especially if
The applicant, that we may have to ask him to wait, because I don't know that he'll be able to participate by Zoom. He's 97.
Yeah, I understand.
Some of us in our 70s have a hard time participating with some stuff, so we may want to consider, having him come at the following meeting or whatever. He's not going to be able to do it now anyway, so it's not an imminent issue, I think. But that will be his decision to make, I guess. So I just wanted to run that by you before we made any decisions, and then I should know within a couple of weeks. By the time I get ready to post for a legal notice, I'll let you know. And then we'll do it. We'll have it in the posting, make it easier that way. Susan will attach the call numbers. Then it means that no one else can use the town one at the time, because there will be no charge or limit. Yeah, I know I have Zoom, but if I set it up, it's only good for less than an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah, something
Oh,
like that.
they looked at that.
They lifted it only for Thanksgiving Day. They just for one day, they gave you unlimited time. God, no, I took advantage of it. No question about it, so.
If you decide you want to go to Zoom, that's fine with me. I would just have to set it up, that's all.
Okay, yeah. So I won't wait too long to make the decision unless you tell me, no, don't bother, but I think we should go in that direction. Peter brought it up before the meeting, we started talking a little bit. I think maybe that's the way to go.
Just out of curiosity, Ellie, why does Hannigan want to come back in at 97?
I think he wants this to be his final resting place. He loved Kingston. He would have come back many years ago, but his wife never wanted to move back, and she has since passed.
Well, when I was in a situation way back, so
Yeah.
that was something that.
I know a lot of situations.
I mean,
I'm telling you,
plus he wants to come back here and help us out.
he may move slow, but his mind is pretty together.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, even at 97, I have a lot of respect for that. I learned a lot from him.
Oh, but I'm just saying, I know what happened, that pit out there, so I
Yeah.
just wondered if that was part of
Yeah,
it.
he said to me, when I went one of the chats with him, I said to him, I learned a lot from you. He said, yeah, but in those days you used to listen to me. So I took it. All right, Mr. Gallo, we should get going. I think it's time for your hearing.
He was a firecracker.
Come on down, come sit opposite me over here. This
Get
is,
some here.
you can sit up there, yeah, you can sit by those chairs there. The microphone should be able to hear it okay. I know, Adam.
Check with Adam to see if the camera can pick up.
If the camera's okay, yeah, it's saying okay. Thank you. You're all set there. Okay, let me read the notice to the public. This is a public hearing for Ken and Irina Anthony, 3 Concannon Road, tax map U1, lot 70. This is a public hearing whereby the applicant seeks a variance to the terms of Article 205, Section 205-9A of the Town of Kingston zoning ordinance and asks that terms be waived to permit an expansion of a non-conforming use in the shoreline protection district. The applicant seeks to repair and expand an existing home. This is the hearing we were trying to get a joint hearing with the planning board, but we couldn't make it work because of the notification of legal notice. Because it would have been too early for us to get it in the paper. So we're here with Mr.
Thank you
Guy
very
from
much.
Jones and Beach.
Yes, I'm Barry Guy with Jones and Beach. With me tonight is Irina Anthony. She's the applicant. This project is 0.74 acres in the rural residential district, 0.47 of which is in Kingston. The property actually is split by the Newton and Kingston line. The house is actually split by the Newton and Kingston line.
Like to know who drew that one up.
And it's adjacent to Country Pond. It's an existing single-family home with well and septic. The house is approximately 1,120 square foot footprint. It's currently 50 feet from Country Pond at the closest point. The applicant is seeking to reconstruct and expand the existing home in the same location and add a deck. The house is in need of repair. The foundation is crumbling. I think it was built in the 30s. And it is in need of repair. So they want to repair it in the same location, add a deck, and expand 203 square feet.
Yeah, the application's at 204.
204, well,
Yeah.
204 square feet. It's basically the same location and size, and the only thing we're doing is squaring off the portions furthest away from Country Pond. Due to the shoreline district in Kingston is 300 feet from Country Pond, and the building setback for that is 150 feet from Country Pond. And the 150-foot line is shown here. So basically the whole lot is within the 150-foot no building setback. It's an existing building which is non-conforming. Therefore, we are seeking relief in the form of a variance to Article 205, Section 205.9A, which is for non-conforming use. The article prohibits the expansion of an existing non-conforming use. So if you would like, we can go through the variance criteria.
I think that'd be appropriate.
Number one is that the proposed variance will not be contrary to the public interest. The intent of the project is to reconstruct and expand the existing home. home will be located no closer to the shoreline than currently, and the expansion will take place away from the shoreline. So we're actually expanding away from the shoreline, not closer to it. So we don't believe that's would be contrary to the public interest. Number 2 is the spirit and intent of the ordinance preserved. The ordinance actually allows for the construction within the shoreline for a lot of record, which this is, with a special exception. But because this is a current non-conforming use, special exception doesn't apply, and therefore we're seeking, the special exception doesn't apply, but allows the intent. So there is the intent via the special exception that you can build in the 150 feet on a lot of record, but because of existing lot of record, we can't expand it. So we believe we meet the intent and spirit of the ordinance. Number 3 is there is substantial justice in granting the variance. The existing structure is in need of repair. Granting the variance will allow the applicant to repair and expand the existing home. And as we said, the increase in size is limited to 204 square feet. So we believe that substantial justice will be done. Number 4, the values of the surrounding properties will not be diminished. So they're improving the existing home, which is a 1930s era home. So in expanding it, increasing the aesthetics of the house will increase the aesthetics of the neighborhood, and thereby actually increase the value of the surrounding properties. And number 5 is the literal enforcement of the provision of the ordinance would result in an unnecessary hardship. The property is an existing home on an existing lot of record. As we said before, that section 205.7 allows for the erection of a structure on an existing lot of record. But as the home is existing, it cannot be expanded. So that creates a hardship for the owner. It's an existing house, so you can't expand it. But if it wasn't an existing house, you could potentially expand it with either a special exception or a conditional use from the planning board. So that's why we're seeking a variance to this section 205.98. And we did attend Conservation Commission in both towns, Kingston and Newton. We have added a rain garden to the plan at the request of the Kingston Conservation Commission. So with that, I'll take any questions the board may have.
That's great. Thank you, Mr. Guy. Gentlemen,
What is the room going to be used for? The new addition?
They're actually going to rebuild the whole house because the foundation is gone. So they're just expanding it a little bit, 204 square feet. I think it's an office.
No new bedrooms or bathrooms?
No new bedrooms or bathrooms.
So the septic is currently there, we presume is...
We're going to reuse the existing septic, but we also have to apply for a new septic permit in the event that the existing septic fails.
That's good for 4 years or something?
Correct. I forget how long it's going to
2 or 4, I forget.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do it now, but you've got to...
We actually have to, we have to apply for the permit and redesign a new one.
So looks to me like the new footprint and the overlaid on the existing footprint almost exactly the same thing built in that northwest corner.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah. And it should be noted that the section of the ordinance does allow for continuation of use, maintaining the building, repairing it, and improvements to the building. And so the only thing that we're trying to get here is the expansion. And we appreciate that rain garden money because
Correct.
that'll actually improve the...
That'll include the stormwater coming off of, because we'll
Coming off
actually
the roof.
be treating it where we're not treating it currently.
now, so it'd be an actual improvement for the condition, even if you rebuild on the existing footprint. It's
Exactly.
actually better retention. So,
that's great.
isn't that positive?
Yeah. Mr. Draper, any comments, questions?
That addition you're gonna put on, that's right beside the front door.
I think they have to post it. Is that what you're asking? They have to post the permits?
No,
No, it's
the
not
addition.
it's not an addition, it's a tear down
We're
rebuild.
doing the whole house.
So you're tearing down the whole house?
Yeah, because of the foundation and because it's a 1930
Yeah,
era
okay,
house.
I didn't, well,
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Some of them are still, this one needs repair.
This one's going back to scratch and good. We should be nice and solid for another 100 years,
Let's hope so.
or close to it anyways. Any other questions? Anything that you'd like to add, Mr. Guy, before we consider the 5 criteria? It's going to be a real rock and roll kind of event, I think, tonight. We won't miss kickoff, I don't think.
I hope not.
I don't think so. Gentlemen, are you ready to proceed with the 5 criteria here?
Yes.
All right. Item 1, will there be a diminution in value surrounding properties as a result of granting this variance?
I think it's an improvement. It'll actually be an improvement since it came to pass.
Okay. Will granting this variance be a benefit to the public interest? You
Yes.
can just nod your heads over.
Yes, there'll be better retention of storm.
Will little enforcement result in unnecessary hardship? There's the third one is, will little enforcement result in unnecessary hardship?
Yes, because I think he pointed out that if you didn't have a house there, you'd get a CUP to build one. The fact that the house is there is the only reason he's here today, because I think that would create a hardship.
I would say, they're living in this house right now, right?
I think so.
Yes, they are.
So they're not allowed to repair it.
So yeah, they are. They would be allowed to repair it, yeah.
Yes.
But if you're going to put it up to standards and have 200 feet makes breathing room, I think that's a reasonable request to,
Yeah,
And plus they're moving it away from the water.
and they are moving it
They're
correct.
Away from the water now.
yeah, the additional area would be right with the water. It also would be all built to code as opposed to repair, which wouldn't be required.
Correct. Okay, number 4, will substantial justice be done if it's granted?
And yes.
And number 5, will the use contemplated be contrary to the spirit of the ordinance?
No.
No. Okay. So all 5 criteria have passed. Can I have a motion, please?
Yeah, I'll move that we grant the variance to Article 205.9.a to permit the expansion of the house area.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. You know the 30-day rule. To wait in case someone brings up, someone could challenge this within 30 days. I just advise you not to do anything until you know for sure that's also.
It's still got to go to planning board.
They still got to, yeah, they're on the agenda.
We still have hoops to jump through.
Okay, so 30 days won't be a problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, both. Thank you. Any other business to come before us? Anything else you want to talk about? I did send you that letter from Mr. Aker, Dana Aker, that when he sent it to the planning board, he's concerned about the 266 Route 125. But there's no action for us to take, but I just sent it, I forwarded it to you because he asked
I
us to.
think that's an anticipation that if they come before us in the future.
Yeah, anyway, but I mean, I think he wants to make sure everybody's informed about what's going on. That's fine. That's his opinion. I informed you, and there's no action before us because there's nothing to be appealed at this point in time. Anyways, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything to be appealed. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, I don't know, there's still some,
I'm sure there's some other things, but
Yeah.
but right now we have nothing that's coming before
but I
us.
don't know how that CZ and some receive the variances. Didn't see anything that they didn't have.
I didn't see anything, but you haven't reviewed the hydrological study yet. Okay, if there's no objection, we're going to adjourn at 7:20. How did I do, Susan?